On today's show, more advice on how to brave a Minnesota winter. We headed up to Ely and found a company there who have expertise on dressing for the cold. Up next, Minnesota enjoys their lakes in the wintertime, but take a look at what's happening across the border in Wisconsin. Hey, there's hardly space on the ice.
Look at how big he is!
And it's all about introducing a kid to the great outdoors, or in this case, to the world of ice fishing. Our Minnesota-bound classic looks back on an ice fishing trip with some Brits. As you might guess, it was their first time ice fishing. How'd it go? Well, you be the judge. Those stories and more, next.
Quite an eerie experience.
Minnesota Bound. Brought to you by Minnesota's select GMC dealers.
Hi, everybody. Raven and I welcome you to the show. You know, if you want to learn how to survive winter, you go to Ely, Minnesota. Why? Well, they have a lot of winter there, and there's also a place that makes winter clothing you can't beat.
Cold are the months of winter, a time when everything seems to slow down. But up north in the town of Ely, listen. Hear it?
There is a buzz. Yeah, I know, it's really something.
Seems everyone's talking about this Minnesota sewing shop.
It's a northern Minnesota thing.
Oh, it's bigger than that. It is WinterGreen Northern Wear, homespun and handmade outdoor gear from Ely.
People actually save up their money to buy a wintergreen jacket.
WinterGreen's story stretches literally from the North Pole to the South. Sue Shirkey on the left there might best explain.
The very first anorak I made was for Paul on the Steger International North Pole Expedition in 1986.
See, Paul Shirkey, Sue's husband, needed a coat to get him safely to the North Pole. So, Sue sewed him one. Then, she sewed another, and eventually one more.
I wasn't really a good seamstress. It would take me maybe 3 months to make one garment and get it right. I might make it 6 times over until I got it right for somebody.
Point was, Sue made really good winter coats, and people wanted them.
All over Europe, people going to the North and South Poles in particular.
WinterGreen became an iconic brand. Maybe it's the Scandinavian trim, sort of the autograph of all wintergreen gear. Or maybe it's the people. Folks like Laverne Ellis.
Yesterday was 22 years. I started February 1st, 1993.
Laverne's been sewing wintergreen clothes a long time. Even now, she still tries to spot for work.
I'll walk up to some people sometimes and say, "Can I look at your jacket?" Why? It's like, well, I think I made it. But it's wintergreen. It's like, yeah.
The whole process starts with raw sheets of fabric and a guy with a glove.
The glove I wear keep from cutting my fingers off. This is an extremely razor-sharp blade. It goes up and down.
Dave Nelson cuts coat pieces.
8, 16, 32, about 50 jackets are cut right now.
Each section hand-cut from patterns designed in-house.
I am working on a pair of Expedition Shell bib pants. We created the pattern already in a size medium, and now I'm upgrading it to size large.
Once workers have all the coat parts cut, they go into individual bags. Think ingredients of a recipe, unique to each garment in each size. From there, Laverne and her team join the parts to create one whole garment.
You don't want to get your fingers stuck in there.
Every time somebody gets a garment, they know who they're making it for, and they make the garment from start to finish. And there's a bit of a relationship.
A relationship Sue and this town missed. You see, Sue sold WinterGreen back in 2009. The brand quickly dwindled, and eventually the lights went dark. Last year, at an auction, Sue showed up to buy one of WinterGreen's old sewing machines, and something happened. Sue pulled out her purse and bought everything back.
I actually missed it, and I missed working with the folks here, and I also missed the community, so.
The Shirkies brushed off the dust, and WinterGreen reopened, renewed. So now, maybe you understand the buzz. A story of passion sown in the heart of the North Woods.
It's fun to be back.
Looking for a crowd on the ice? Well, look no further. Look what's happening in Wisconsin. What is going on there?
Minnesota Bound. Brought to you by Minnesota's select GMC dealers. Rapala Ice Force. Borderview Lodge. And by Star Bank.
When it's winter time, you might as well make the best of it. We do that in Minnesota, but they also do that in Wisconsin at a place called Fon du Lac, where lots of things happen on the ice. Bill Shirk has the story.
Who looks at this sort of landscape and thinks, yeah, I want to be out there? Must be a Wisconsin thing.
We're gonna go out and ride the wind. So today we're in Fon du Lac, Wisconsin on the mighty Lake Winnebago. We're here for the 2015 World Ice and Snow Sailing Association Championships. There's over 70 competitors from over 11 different countries represented. It's like our Olympics of our sports.
People pound Lake Winnebago come cold winter months. Heck, the lake just attracted the World Ice and Snow Sailing Championship, which is kind of a big deal.
They alternate between Europe and North America, so they've been doing this for a number of years. This is, however, only the third time it's ever been in the United States.
And that's why racers toot their own horn.
It's a thrill of sailing using the wind and nature. You can go really fast and you can make a lot of maneuvers, and it's quite technical.
Well, most of the time.
And the wind all the time there. Yeah, it's great.
Events like this make more people want to come out and try it.
Just 100 yards north of the race course, more smiles. 14-year-old Kevin Coleman grins ear to ear. Can't blame him.
The participants are pretty jacked up about this, and we're gonna have fun doing it. Let's put it that way.
Chainsaws, ice, a big mess. That'll attract a crowd.
And we've got big chainsaws that are specially built just for ice sawing. There'd be some wet faces, some iced up beards.
My gloves frozen, so I can't pull the trigger, hold the thing.
Which means barehanded sawing at 12 below zero. See, volunteers open up giant ice holes for another big Winnebago event.
Push her down. Keep pushing.
Every winter, 85 years and counting.
This is 61.8 inches, 52 pounds.
locals set up to try and spear one of Winnebago's giant lake sturgeon.
There's nowhere else in the world other than Lake Winnebago that you can spear this great fish.
On this weekend,
This is actually my first time, so I'm very excited.
Fishing Has No Boundaries offered to pass along the tradition.
That was very cool to see how they can take something that is so solid and take it into liquid, and how the water just comes up. That's really kind of cool.
Imagine the smiles if Kevin actually gets one.
Yeah, I think what they do is a great opportunity for all these kids.
Oh, the camaraderie when you get all your friends and your shacks are around each other and stuff like that out here. It's just a lot of fun, and you're just happy with whoever gets one.
Celebrating out in the cold and snow. I think in Wisconsin they call it life on the frozen tundra. Looks like life is pretty good. Pretty busy, too.
Closed captioning from Minnesota Bound is brought to you by Lake of the Woods Tourism.
As we say, introduce a kid to the great outdoors. Well, what about ice fishing? Well, we did just that. I should say Travis Frank did that.
You look excited, Isabella.
Yeah, she's ready. Okay, go ahead. Okay, we gotta go in here, babe.
We say it all the time. Remember to introduce a kid to the great outdoors. But when and how? Today it starts here, right in this bait shop.
Here's Lexi. Ready to go fishing? All right.
Okay, help me scoop them up in here. Just the ones with the blue eyes, right?
Allie's 3, Isabella 4, and Lexi 9. Each girl excited to hook a fish.
This is going to be our bait today. You want to touch a worm? That's what the fish like to eat. Oh, that's going to be a good one. That's going to catch you a big fish. You want to take a bite? No. You're in charge of our bait today. You don't want to lose the worms. All right, let's go fishing. To the fish house!
Woo!
You got your worms? You got the minnows? All right, lead the way. Hop on in.
Inside, a treat awaits.
Have you girls ever seen what it looks like on the bottom of the lake before? Are you ready to? Yeah, you want to see the fish? Okay.
An underwater camera.
I can see all 3 of you. Look at that, you're on TV.
Reveals life below the ice. It's a fishy world, and these girls are now living in it.
That's what the fish like to eat. Yeah. Ah. Okay, be ready. Here they come. Reel him in, reel him in, reel him in. He's got it. Real hard. Oh. Good job. Hold your hands out. Okay, I'm gonna set him. He's gonna be wet.
I don't want to.
Here he goes.
My previous conception of what ice fishing was sitting on a bucket in the middle of the lake with no cover on. So when I saw all this, it was a pretty neat experience.
An experience that has changed right along with today's fishing technology.
It's amazing to see that you can actually watch the fish when you're fishing, and I think it helps them learn and understand the whole concept.
Because you can see the screen with all the fish there, and I think they have almost as much fun watching the fish bite it as they do reeling it in.
Whoa! He jumped out of the hole. He wanted to say hi. Should we let him go? All right.
And I think we're so digital nowadays that whether it's tablets or whether it's TV, whatever it is, video games, phones, they understand how to use all that technology, and I think it just kind of paves the way for kids to be very involved in the new technology that we have in fishing.
Look, that one.
Oh my goodness, it's big!
That's a big one. You want to show the girls? Whoop! Okay, ready to go.
Introducing kids has never been easier or more fun.
See all the fish that are leaving? Oh, here it comes. Something big is coming. Oh, there goes a northern. Whoa! Did you see that?
He scared all the fish away.
From giants below to a minnow cheese above.
Minnow cheese. Minnow cheese.
These girls are hooked.
I don't think there's ever a point that's too early to introduce them to fishing. Look at how big he is! You can put both of your hands on him. Put both of your hands. You want to give him a little kiss? Oh. We took them and they were excited about picking out the minnows and getting the worms and kind of the whole bait shop process. Driving on the lake, getting in the fish house, it's all fun and it's all kind of creates that excitement for when you catch your first fish.
No matter how you introduce kids, one thing is certain. Without a chance, they'll never know what they are missing.
And the kids are the future, and it's very important for everybody who's anglers now to continue to pass along that tradition and that passion for fishing.
Now it's up to them if they want to come back and do it all over again.
Do you want to come fishing again, Isabella?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Our Minnesota-bound classic looks back at an ice house shared with some faraway visitors. Can you guess the accent? Well, stay tuned.
He's taken that one fairly well, isn't he, eh?
Minnesota Bound, brought to you by Connecticut, Tracker Boats, and by Totem Resorts.
Time now for a Minnesota-bound classic. You know, over the years I've taken visitors ice fishing and it's sort of fun to see their reaction. One man once told me from Texas, he said, "You folks in Minnesota are starved for entertainment." But I also took some folks from Great Britain ice fishing, and you know what? I think they're still talking about it. Cheerio.
This is something very commonly used in the wintertime up here. We just simply refer to it as a tip-up, just because of the fact that when you have a fish on or you get a bite, it flag tips up. You know.
A lesson in ice fishing.
So as you have a visual thing as well, you can be inside the house, you look out, oh, flag up.
While Minnesota anglers may find this hard to believe, trying to catch fish through the ice is viewed by most of the world as a strange sport.
Can you tell me how you, when you have a bite on the line, how you reel them in?
A group of British travel writers recently ventured to Minnesota to explore our winter pastime.
I'm just amazed how warm it is here. Like they said, Minneapolis, you know, coolest of all states, and I thought it's going to be, as it cool, you meant really cold, but it's turned out to be really warm. Okay, right. Oh, you spit it out there. I didn't realise. I thought you meant to eat that bit.
Drop them in.
Minnesota's fish seemed to understand. They had to put on a show.
You got him. Yeah, he's a...
Hey, way to go.
Yeah.
All right, you're the hot
He's taken that one fairly well, isn't he, eh? We went to a place called, we would say Fon du Lac, but they pronounce it Malac. And there we've been getting some really big fish. And we stayed all night in a fishing house, you know, sleep on it. And they have these, I don't know if these little, and the ones we have had bells in, so it was jing, 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 jing when you're fast asleep. Oh, God, what's that, you know? I think it's terrific, and it's great. I mean, if you're a fisherman, what are you going to do in the winter? And you don't just catch little fish here, you can catch very big fish. What I saw on Malac was that there's some really big fish out there, and you can catch them. Now, pull it up hand over hand. Yeah.
Oh, no, he's got it.
Go on, no, kick it. Is it sure? No, it might be swimming towards you. It's still there, it's still there. It's still there. Keep pulling quite fast, that's it. Keep the line nice and tight, that's it.
Oh, here he comes.
Yeah, well done, well done. Hey! Well done.
So are the Brits convinced Minnesota anglers are sane?
It's very weird. It feels very strange to be sitting out in the middle of a lake. Quite an eerie experience, but it's certainly very difficult for us to comprehend because we just don't get this kind of weather at home.
Someone's telling me about this governor's fishing tournament, which they said is very funny and a great crack. So who knows, maybe I'll be back this year to do that.
Oh, wait till they meet Jesse. Ice fishing through the eyes of visitors. Maybe we are starved for entertainment, huh? Well, that about does it for us. Remember, introduce a kid to the great outdoors, take them ice fishing. I'm Ron Scherer, of course, always, the star of the show is Raven. Yes, you know it too. Yes.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. For more information on these stories and more, catch us on the web at mnbound.com. Share your stories on the Minnesota Bound Facebook page under the Share Your Story tab.